Hello, and welcome to the Perry Connection. I'm your host, Jessie Barth, and with me in the studio is our guest, Giuseppe Gentile. So welcome, Giuseppe.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, we're thrilled to have you. I'm sure our viewing audience already knows you as Giuseppe from Burlingham Books.
Mm-hmm.
So we will talk about that. But first, I want to know more about you. So where are you from? Just can you tell us a little bit about you, the man?
I was born in Harbor City, California, a long time ago.
Not that long ago.
In the 70s.
In the 70s?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
I was born in California, lived for a little bit in Hawaii, Central America, spent many years in Montreal, Canada.
Really?
That's where I sort of grew up.
In Montreal,
I was
okay.
in Montreal. Lived in Florida. And
Now, why were you moving around so much?
we had family in different places.
Uh-huh.
I had some cousins and uncles in Hawaii. My mother's family, they're from Central America. My
Okay.
father's family immigrated from Italy to Canada to Montreal.
Okay,
So, just family.
good.
Yeah.
So your heritage is Italian and
Spanish.
Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what has it been like having a name like Giuseppe Gentile?
Depends on where you live.
Okay.
Growing up in Montreal, I lived in a community that was very Italian.
Okay.
Everybody spoke Italian. All the shops were Italian owned. I went to Catholic school with the nuns, and everybody was Italian and everything. And if I go to a birthday party and somebody says Giuseppe, 10 people are like, "What?" You know.
And it's
then-
really Joe,
and
right?
it's really Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then living in the States, I'll go to a doctor's office, and sometimes they won't even try. They'll just be like, Giuseppe. And yeah, so it depends on where you live.
Yeah. So, so do you speak Italian and
Mhm.
Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And French.
And French. Okay. And why the French? Did you study that in school
Montreal.
or?
Living in
Oh,
Montreal.
duh.
Yeah.
Of course. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Don't you love having that ability?
Yeah. Lately, the only thing I use it for is translating movies and books for friends.
Okay. Okay. But it's always there, even
Yeah.
if you're not speaking.
Sure.
I'm sure there's sort of like a little button that you just go, a mental shift to Italian,
Yep. Sometimes it gets confused, especially if you're out of practice.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Good. So what's your educational background? I know Catholic school.
Yeah.
And then what were your interests in? Just
Art.
tell us. Art.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're an
I was an
artist?
Artist. Yeah.
Okay. So studied art in school and
Yep. Actually, from the time I could hold a pencil, I've been an illustrator. And I never actually went to school for it,
Okay.
apart from just what I did in school and high
right.
school.
Sure. And you had good teachers, good art
Oh,
teachers.
I had very good art teachers.
Isn't
Yeah,
that wonderful?
Absolutely.
And what a gift.
Yeah.
Now, does that sort of run in your family?
My dad was a singer.
Okay.
Well, actually, he was a mechanic, but he could sing opera like you would not believe.
Oh,
Um,
well.
yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, and I think it was something that he really wanted to do, but I don't think my grandparents would have allowed it.
Okay.
So I think he just kind of did it on his
Yeah.
own, but yeah, he was a very good singer. And so I actually went to school for music
Really?
later
Okay.
on. Yeah.
What instrument?
Well, actually, the program I was in was called studio composition, so it was learning how to basically write and record popular music.
Okay.
So I play the guitar and I sing,
Mm-hmm.
but that wasn't my focus.
Okay. And so, but the drawing was always there.
Always.
Wow. Do you have any examples of your illustrations
I
that
actually
we
have
could?
something hanging in my office that I did.
Great. Well, maybe you could do that, and we could edit that in,
Sure.
and so we can, even as we're speaking, the audience could be seeing the visual image.
Sure.
Great. So, what are you still working with that with the illustrations at all?
Not so much. Not so much with that, and not so much with the music.
So what caused the shift?
I became happy.
Okay. Good.
I definitely created more art For me, it comes naturally if I'm sad and there's turmoil and drama.
Oh, so that's your release.
Yeah.
I see.
And so once that went away, I didn't really need to do it anymore.
Okay. Well, isn't that wonderful that it was your release
Yeah.
as opposed to other things that may be destructive?
Right.
Yeah, good for
Yeah.
you. Now, what about siblings? Did you have,
I have two.
okay, a sister, brother?
Two older brothers.
Oh,
One
okay.
who's 2 years older than me. His name is Gino. And one who's 10 years older. His name is Robert.
Roberto?
Robert.
Robert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Half brother.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Good. Okay, so how did you get to Perry?
Luck.
I call it Paradise.
So I was living in Mount Morris before I moved to Perry.
Okay.
So
And what brought you to Western New York?
I had nothing better to do, honestly. I was up in Plattsburgh, up north,
Okay.
and a friend from college was out in Mount Morris getting a master's in Geneseo, and he called me up one day and was like, "Hey, I need a roommate. Are you interested?" And I was like, "I've never been out there. Sure, I'll check it out." I was lucky enough in my 20s to not
Sure.
be tied down or anything.
And
so-
what school did you go to?
Well, we went to SUNY Purchase,
Okay.
and then he was doing his master's in Geneseo.
Uh-huh. Great. And when was that? When did you come to Mount Morris?
2003, I
Okay.
think.
So you got to see the transition of Mount Morris.
Actually, no, that happened after I left Mount Morris.
It did it. Okay, but you can at least see. You
Yeah.
know what it was like before.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and now. So good. So how did you make the switch to Perry?
My wife is from Perry.
Oh, all right. So tell us about your wife
Her name is Morgan.
Okay.
She's from Perry originally.
and her maiden name.
Ferry.
Ferry.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, we met a long time ago. We dated for a very long time before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And we just moved out here. We
Great.
found a great place, a very nice place, and
Good.
we've been here ever since.
Good. And so then, when did you start working at the Burlingham bookstore?
11 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. They didn't want to hire me at first.
And why's that?
I don't know. They wanted to hire my wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't remember exactly the timeline, but I think she applied for a job before I did. And then she ended up getting a job doing something else. And then so I applied, and I was very eager, so I followed up a few times. And I kept, being told, "Oh, nothing yet, but we'll let you know." And then there was a phone call at the house, and the caller ID said Burlingham Books, so I thought, "Oh, awesome." And I picked it up, and I was like, "Hello," and they were looking for Morgan.
Oh.
And they wanted to offer her a position. And so, she took the phone and talked to them. And so then I don't know how long after that phone call, I was in the store just shopping. And I was like looking at a book on the bottom shelf. And Anne was in the office, and she looked over and said, "Hey, do you still want to work here?" And I was like, "Sure, I'm interested." And so she's like, "Can you come back for an interview?" And I came back for an interview, and the rest is history.
Good. So, so let's just finish up with your personal life. So, you and your lovely wife from Perry now have two little
Yep.
daughters, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And can you just tell us about your children?
Sure. I have a 5-year-old. Her name is Quinn. And a 1-year-old. Her name is Amelia. And Quinn is in pre-K. She
Already.
goes to kindergarten next
Gosh.
year. Yeah.
Just seems like yesterday that she came.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's crazy how fast that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And now Amelia is, walking and working on talking more, and yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like a week ago she was, a baby.
Right. Well, that's great. And it's nice because you really have set down roots here.
Yep.
And you plan to stay.
Yep.
In Perry. So let's just make the transition now from Burlingham Books, where you worked for 11 years, to
The Biblio-Tech Café.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So can you tell us how that happened?
How I ended up
Yeah.
taking it over?
Yeah, and we're so grateful that you're staying at that location. It's sort of a flagship store and enterprise here in Perry, and people from other communities love to come to the bookstore. So I'm grateful that you're perpetuating it, that you're staying in that location, and we just know you'll take it up to the next level.
Hopefully.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will. I think you've got a winning combination. So when did you make that decision to buy the business and transform it? Can you just talk us through that?
Sure. Initially, when we realized that Burlingham Books was going to have to close, I didn't think I could, and I actually kind of didn't want to. The idea kind of scared the crap out of me. I don't know if I can say that.
You had
I had reservations.
Yes.
Yeah. But then when I started to think about it and look at the numbers and everything, I was thinking, I probably can do this. And I'm lucky enough to have really good people behind me who are helping me along. And
some of the staff members from Burlingham?
yeah, some staff members. Yeah, I'm just, without the people behind me, I would not be able to do this at all.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky there. And that's kind of what made it happen. And honestly, the major motivating factor to getting into all of this was I didn't want to have to look for another job.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So you also have that, in addition to being an illustrator and a musician and an artist, there's an entrepreneur
Hopefully.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been a big ideas kind of a person. And when I started thinking about what I would do if I was able to do this, what it would look like, I mean, the idea is just...
Isn't it fun to do that?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's the beauty of, I was just thinking about that this afternoon, actually, of in your mind, I was driving by a tree, and I thought, well, in my mind, I could just make that a blue tree. It's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
If I want it to be big and blue, it can be. And you're not limited by limitations in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It can be whatever you want. So, so when did you give yourself permission to do this?
About a couple months ago.
Okay. And was it just like, I can do this? Or was it sort of slower and talking it over a lot?
No, it was pretty quick. Once once there are certain barriers that come down. I don't know. At least for me, I just thought, I definitely can do this.
Good, and we're glad you are. So tell me about the concept. You have three things going on. You have the Biblio, which is the books.
Yep.
You have the technical advice that you're going to be giving, and products that you sell, and the cafe.
Yep.
So it's 3 in 1.
It's actually 4. There's toys and games. It's
Toys
gonna
and
be a big
games.
part of it.
Oh, that's even better.
And I guess 5 if you consider the birthday parties that we're going to be.
Okay, can you talk this through? So, because I know that people watching this all want to support you. And so can you just, it sounds like there's something there for everybody. So
Yeah.
talk us through the books first.
So the books. I'm going to be, it's not going to be as broad an offering as it was in Burlingham. I'm going to focus on kids' books, young adult, primarily.
Okay.
I'm also going to carry bestsellers, trending books, in all genres. Local interest.
And local authors.
Local authors, absolutely.
Will you have book signings and that,
Oh, sure.
book talks and that kind of thing?
Yep.
Great.
Mm-hmm. And the cafe will be perfect space for that kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm going to be the used books. I'm also going to deal in used books.
Okay. And can people order books from you as
yes.
well?
And
Okay.
actually, I'm going to have my entire inventory. The physical inventory will be available online as well, and I'll be able to special order. And also, along with special ordering, books will be able to drop ship directly to the customer, so they don't have to come back to the store to pick them up.
Oh, great.
They can if they want to, or to get them a little faster, they can just go directly to their home.
Great. Great. Oh, okay. That sounds great. So let's go to the technical aspect. And when I first met you at Burlingham Books, I know that you were involved with computers as well as photography. Weren't you doing wedding
Yep,
photography
wedding
as well?
photography,
Yeah.
sure.
So you have a tech background, probably interest. You probably have a
Interest.
big interest
Yeah.
in that. So what can you tell us about that?
It's always been kind of there ever since I was little. My brother would not allow me to come into his room, my brother Rob, the one who was 10 years older, because I would have a tendency to try to take things apart and stuff like that.
Is that an innate curiosity?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So I just, and then, once I became older and I started getting my own computers and my own stuff, um, I just picked up knowledge. And I sort of have the ability to teach that knowledge. I make it very simple for people to understand. Because technology
That's a gift.
is very daunting to a lot of people. And I can distill it, make it simple, and give advice.
Good. So what products will you be selling at the store?
I'm actually still working on that product list. But it's going to be basically the types of things that people are always looking for. So memory cards,
Okay.
phone chargers, cables for their, HDMI cables. It's going to be a small selection of things that you don't have to drive 20 minutes in either direction to get, that you're always needing.
Good. And then how about expertise?
Yep.
So people can come in and would they schedule an appointment and say, show me how to use this computer, or can you help me with my iPhone, or that kind of thing?
That's it exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to do too much hardware stuff, just because I don't have the space and I don't have staff enough for that. But setting up new devices for people, walking them through how to use them, definitely want to do that. Troubleshooting software issues with their personal tech, laptops, tablets, phones, that kind of thing, I'll do that. E-readers.
It's almost like you're a doctor.
Kind of, yeah.
And we can bring our problem children to you and you can have a cure.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good. Good. Well, that's a great service because there's not anything like that in town, is there?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. So will you be serving them in the cafe then? I mean, is that
No, I'm
sort
going to
of
have a space.
a space for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So tell us about the cafe.
The cafe will be pretty much like it was with Burlingham Books.
Okay.
It will be larger, so the whole front of the store
Okay.
will be the cafe.
Okay.
And I'm going to have the bar on the left-hand side and more seating on the right-hand side. There will be shelves and stuff interspersed in there as well, but that entire front area will be mostly cafe. It's going to be a lot of the same offerings. I'm trying to add more. I'm not sure actually what I can mention because I don't have everything ironed out, but I'm trying to get more offerings.
And certainly drinks, because that I think was a big selling item.
Yeah,
it seemed to me
absolutely.
whenever I was there, someone or multiple people were, ordering drinks and
Lots of drinks.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to go.
Yeah.
Sort of like Cheers, back
Yeah.
back in the 70s,
Sure.
the show. The neighborhood place where everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so birthday parties. Now,
Yeah.
what is that going to be? Is that for children, little children, or could I have a birthday party there?
To begin with, it is going to be kids' parties.
Okay.
That'll be the focus.
Like a theme kind of thing?
Yep. Hopefully to do theme parties. So what I was thinking with themes is I'm working on getting Lego in the store.
Okay.
Lego is something I want to sell. I'm still waiting to hear from Lego directly whether or not I can get an account with them and order. But I'm working on that.
Is there any other?
They
outlet?
don't sell through third-party distribution. They sell direct.
Okay.
So I can only go through them. I do have a
I
distributor.
just meant there's no other store that around, certainly in Perry, that sells Legos.
Not in Perry, no.
Right.
No. I guess Walmart carries Lego,
Okay.
so you can go to Walmart. You can't go to Toys R Us anymore.
Okay.
So I think hopefully by June I'll hear something definitive, one way or the other. So I was thinking I could do Lego theme parties, Melissa and Doug theme parties.
Okay.
Board games is actually another thing I'm going to sell a lot of. so I can do board game theme parties. Working with Daryl Pizzeria for food, sort of like a little partnership.
Fun. Okay.
And he's actually currently figuring out a menu out for me that we can use.
Oh, great.
So
For
yeah,
just the parties,
for
or
just the parties.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Mhm.
Well, it's nice, isn't it great to collaborate?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Actually, everything I'm doing, from my branding to the paint to the flooring, everything, it's all local. It's all businesses in Perry.
Oh, super. So is
Even the uniforms.
the
There
uniforms
will be uniforms.
good? Yeah. And do you have your logo? Is that something you
Yeah.
would send?
Yeah.
We can put up right now.
Sure.
Great. Good. How did you do your logo?
Not, kind of. I came up with an initial concept, and Olive and Ink kind of ran with it
Yeah.
and
Oh.
came up with the final.
Good.
Product.
Rachel Richter is
Yeah,
fabulous
Rachel and
at
Esther.
Olive
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Ink. Good.
And actually, I should have just listened to their recommendations because I kind of got in my own way, and we did all kinds of revisions, and I think we ended up right back where we started.
Yeah.
Like one of the initial ideas.
Well, then that's good because they're so patient,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now you're really happy with what you have.
Yeah.
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 Good. And so the opening date will probably
I don't
be...
have a concrete date. I'm looking at early June.
Okay. Certainly by July.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I can't really go
Good.
past.
Now, I have to ask you, because as I mentioned before the show, I'm one of these people that peek in the window. Because I walked by the other day and I saw the painters. So, of course, I knew you were painting. And so your color scheme is orange and gray?
Yep.
Okay. How did you come up with that?
It's the logo colors. And it was actually a recommendation from Rachel at Olive and Ink.
Okay. And is that symbolic of anything?
No, it isn't. She felt that it was a good choice for the space.
Uh-huh.
I disagreed wholeheartally. And I tried to change it to all these other colors, and all of the other colors were wrong. And when I finally settled on what the logo is now, it's just right.
Pops.
It just fits.
Yeah.
And then Michaela, who works for me, pointed out that it's the exact colors of a Rebel flight suit, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so that's just icing on the cake.
And you happen to be wearing orange?
Red
Red?
today. Yeah.
Okay. Is that red?
It is red, yeah.
Under these lights, it looks orange. So, all right. Well, there goes that theory. Good. All right. Well, so you told me at one point you looked at some other spaces.
Yeah.
But you decided to stay where you were, and why was that? It was a good
Because
choice.
it's highly visible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the most visible space on Main Street, I would think.
Good.
And then what I hope to do with signage on the outside, I think it's going to really pop and catch a lot of attention.
Good.
So
Yay.
yeah,
So how can we, the community, help you?
come to the store.
Come to the store and
Buy lots of
buy local.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are, I don't know, it just seems to me there are other ways that we can help you too. I guess just word of mouth.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And
Word of
really,
mouth,
even if we
following
don't
us
want
on
to book,
social media.
we can come down and, have our meetings there.
Yep.
Really
Have some drinks.
have some drinks.
Play some board games.
You'll have board games out.
Have board games for people.
Will
to
you have
play.
any sort of television or?
No television, at least
I think that's
not
probably good.
in the beginning.
Okay.
I might move into that. It really all depends on what
Clientele.
Yeah, what I gather from people.
Yeah. And
I've had people suggest that I do get TVs.
okay.
So it's sort of 50-50.
Maybe there can be like a viewing area that's sort of,
Maybe.
but it's interesting. I mean, we get the news and we get, so much all the time anyway. It's sort of nice to be away from
Mm-hmm.
from that. So, okay, where do you see the store and your vision for this in, say, 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope to just be doing good business.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope I'm still there.
And maybe bringing on more staff in terms
That would
of
be
with
great.
the technical,
Bringing
I
on
mean,
more staff, having longer hours. Yeah.
And what will your hours be?
Um, so for right now, what I'm looking at is from the end of January to May, I'm going to have limited hours because it's a very slow time of year.
Okay.
So I'm not going to have Sunday hours, and I'm going to be closing mostly at 5 p.m.
Okay.
And then from June to the end of December, I'm going to have longer hours, depending on the day, closing between 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to have Sunday hours from 10 to 3.
Okay.
And then the birthday parties are always going to be on Sunday, just because I have very limited staff, can't really do parties all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only going to offer the birthday parties on Sundays. So in the off season, we'll be able to schedule more than one party a day because we're closed.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we're open on Sunday, the parties will take place when we close at 3 p.m.
Good. And how do you promote the parties? I mean, how is this all through advertising
Mm-hmm.
and
social media.
so, and you see it for people of all ages, really. So this, I mean, I could see adults going there and having
Sure.
a board
Yeah.
game party.
I wouldn't, yeah, and we would do that.
You know.
Yeah.
Good.
And, I'm thinking I do want to open it up to more types of things. And so, viewing parties
Uh-huh.
later on, things like that. If there's a TV show that people like or a movie or something, we can work into that.
Uh-huh. Star Wars.
Sure, exactly.
Have your own viewing.
Yeah.
Well, this is awesome. I would certainly wish you all the best on behalf of our viewing audience and just the community. Thank you for continuing the spirit that Anne Burlingham sort of started with the store, and certainly we're thankful to Anne for what she did, and wish her all the best.
Absolutely.
With her new life. She's living in Pittsburgh now, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure she'll be really watching.
Yeah, she'll be back.
Yeah.
Up and back and forth.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, Giuseppe, thank you. You've been a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
And it's fun to get to know you. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for joining us on the Perry Connection. So keep watching. Every month there's something new and exciting happening in Perry. And you will see it and hear from it right here. So thank you. And thank you.
Thank you.